Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining me in this video. Now if you're new to my channel, my name is Quynh. I also go by QP, and on my channel I make reviews, tutorials, and lifestyle videos. So in this video, I am going to be reviewing the Misen Nonstick Pans. So I learned about these pans on Facebook. I kept coming across Facebook ads about these pans and they looked pretty promising, and my old nonstick pans were actually on their last leg, so I decided to give these a try since I was in the market for new pans anyway. So I figured I would do a review on these and put them to the test and let you guys know whether or not they are worth it. Okay, so why Misen and what makes these pans stand out from all of the other nonstick pans out there? So on their website, Misen pretty much promises to deliver a nonstick pan that not only lasts a long time, but also has the same quality as a high-end brand and also is affordable. So I'm just going to read what they say on their website because I think they do a really good job pretty much summarizing what they're trying to do with this product. We love nonstick pans for cooking eggs and delicate foods like fish, but most pans are either cheap and lose their nonstick coating quickly or cost over $100 and still only last a few years before they start sticking. We created something different, the Misen Nonstick system. Our system combines the highest quality and safest nonstick surface with a unique plasma primer that helps the nonstick perform better than pans that cost over $130 at a fraction of the price. So again, in short, they pretty much want to offer a nonstick pan that is high quality, that lasts, and also at the same time still affordable, which I think is great because nonstick pans are not meant to last super long to begin with. They're pans that you kind of get and you know that you're only going to use for a few years, and then you have to kind of get another one a few years down the road. The thing is, you want a pan to last as long as possible, so if you can get a nonstick pan to maintain that nonstick surface for longer, that's even better, and hopefully this delivers. So according to Misen, what makes their nonstick pans work so well and last so long is their PFOA-free 3-layer DuPont platinum coating, which offers superior and long-lasting release. Furthermore, they use a plasma primer, which is infused with titanium. This is 2.5 times more effective than traditional primers at keeping the nonstick surface working properly. Okay, so now I want to talk about my ordering and shipping experience because I feel like having a good product is one thing. However, shipping says a lot about how the company is run and also expectations for the customers. So I placed my order on April 27th. However, I didn't get a shipping confirmation until May 4th, which is an entire 7 days later. And my order actually didn't get to me until May 9th. But of course, from May 4th through May 9th, that has nothing to do with Misen because it's with the shipping carrier. So from the time I placed my order to the order actually arriving at my doorstep, it was actually 12 whole days. And I feel like this is a lot longer than most companies, most online companies especially, since I don't think they have Misen products in store. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. However, I do want to point out that this was during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. So that could have played a role on why it took so long to get my order, but that was just the experience I had. Unfortunately, it was during some pretty crazy times, so I'm hoping that that's not their process normally. Okay, so let's now talk about the unboxing. So my order came in a big box, and each pan actually had their own individual box within another box. So it's a little bit excessive, but it actually made me feel pretty good about the packaging because I know that the pans were not banging up against each other in the shipping process, and that's really important because these are nonstick pans, and so you don't want the coating in them to get scratched, which is essentially what makes them nonstick. So these were very protected in their packaging, so there was no harm to them whatsoever during the shipping process. Okay, so now let's talk about the actual pans themselves. So as I mentioned before, I got the 10-inch pan and the 12-inch pan. Now the 10-inch pan I opened and used pretty much as soon as they arrived to me back in May, and the 12-inch pan I actually left in the box because I wanted to unbox it for this video. So this has not been used whatsoever, brand new, and this has been used since May, so it's been 2.5 months of use out of this pan, and as you can see, the non-stick surface is actually still really nice. I'm actually pretty pleased with it. This was the pan that I actually used for all of my testing, all of my examples, and I honestly had no issues with the nonstick, and it still works really well even after 2.5 months of use. You can tell on the back though that it has been loved on because it's a little bit stained, which I need to clean, but overall it's still in really good shape. Oh, these are kind of heavy. Even after all of that use, this handle is still very sturdy. There's no issues with it, there's no shaking, and everything still feels really solid. So these actually have a pretty nice weight to them. They are definitely on the heavier side, but not too heavy where you can't really use them. You can flip just fine. You can maneuver it with one hand just fine. The weight is also important because it's an indication of how thick this pan is. And the thickness is important because of heat retention. So these pans, since they are a little bit on the thicker side, they help with heat retention, which helps distribute the heat evenly throughout the pan and helps with even cooking, which is very important. Now let's talk about the shape of these pans. As you guys can see here, this is how high the sides of the pans are, and it's actually really nice because it's high enough so that food doesn't spill over. I haven't had any issues with food spilling over as I've been cooking, and that's so nice because you're not losing any food and you're not making a huge mess. At the same time, these walls, I don't know if you guys can see, but they're slanted just enough so that you can actually get a spatula down in there to flip food. So it's not too high of a wall or too like straight of a wall so that it's like difficult to flip food and get down in there. So that's another good feature of these pans. Now for the handle, as I mentioned before, very sturdy. This is not loose whatsoever after 2.5 months of use. This was my only nonstick pan that I was using for the past 2.5 months because I didn't want to use my old ones. I didn't want to use the 12-inch one because I wanted to save it for this video. So this was the pan that was getting the most love the past 2.5 months, and you know, it still feels great. The handle itself comes with a silicone grip, which feels amazing. This is probably one of the more comfortable grips of the pans I've used in the past, and it just feels really good holding this with the grip. The grip does come off, as you guys can see, which makes it really nice so you can cook food on the stove and then take off the silicone handle and just transfer it into the oven, which I know a lot of people like because it's nice to start food on the stove, get a nice sear on it, and then finish cooking in the oven. Any pan with a plastic handle isn't going to allow you to do that. I like that this is versatile so that it has the silicone grip on it for comfort, but also has the ability to take it off so that you can put it in the oven if you need to. The only bad thing about this is without the silicone grip, this is pretty uncomfortable to hold. So I don't know if you guys can see me just holding the handle like that. Like, it's fine, but if there's food in it, it hurts my hand. I definitely do prefer using this with the silicone handle. Another kind of concern I have with the handle is I'm afraid that it's going to get looser with time, so this is going to slide on and off really easily, which would suck. I haven't had that issue yet, so I'm hoping that it's kind of sticky enough to stay on there, but I guess only time will tell. Okay, so I've been trying to think of different ways to demonstrate the non-stick ability of these pans, and I decided to do a few tests to show you guys just how well these nonstick pans work. So the first test, and it's like the most classic test, is the egg test. So for this first test, I pretty much cooked a single egg without any oil or grease on the Misen Nonstick Pan over low to low medium heat, and just allowed it to cook until the egg white was firm. As you guys can see, this actually lifted up really easily once it was cooked thoroughly. However, it wasn't like sliding around the pan or anything, so I don't know how non-stick a pan can get, but this definitely wasn't sliding around the pan, and I don't know if that's just because there wasn't any oil in it. So in some of Misen's Facebook ads, they have video of a guy blowing on an egg in these nonstick pans, and you can see the egg flopping around just to show how nonstick these pans are. So I try to recreate this without any oil in the pan. I was not able to do it whatsoever, so I decided to remove the egg, add a little bit of oil, and place the egg back onto it to see if I can replicate that egg blowing test. So after adding oil, you can definitely see that the egg slid around in the pan really easily. It was kind of just sliding around without any issues. And then I tried blowing on the egg, and no luck. I honestly don't know how they conducted this test at Misen, but I tried and I tried as best I could to recreate this test and was not successful. So for test number 2, I did another classic test, which is the cheese test. So I pretty much heated my pan with no grease over medium heat. Then I added a slice of provolone cheese and just let it do its thing and cook and crisp up. Once the cheese started bubbling and started to turn like a nice golden brown, I used a spatula and I was easily able to get the cheese off of these pans. So I feel like the cheese test passed with flying colors. It was actually very, very good, and the cheese was actually really good afterwards too, because I had it as a little snack. But it was really good, and I was definitely impressed after the cheese test. The next test, and I feel like this is the most difficult test that I've conducted so far, is the French omelet test. Now, I decided to do this test because my old nonstick pans would always give me issues whenever I try to make soft scrambled eggs, because Gordon Ramsay's soft scrambled eggs are so good and I love making them. However, if you don't have a good nonstick pan, they are super messy and really a pain to clean up. So with a French omelet, you're pretty much doing a soft scrambled egg, but you at the end allow the bottom to cook just enough to firm up so that you can roll the omelet. Now, just for full disclosure, I had never done a French omelet before because I didn't have the proper equipment, but I decided this would be the perfect test to test out not only a new recipe, but these nonstick pans. As you guys can see, this actually turned out really, really well, and I was able to successfully make my first French omelet, which I was so, so proud. So I would say this test, like, definitely was successful, and I am so excited to make this recipe more and more in the future because I have always loved the idea of making French omelets. I just never have had the right equipment to in the past. So being able to do this the first time I tried it was so fun, and I'm so excited to make this recipe more and more. Now, the last test I conducted is a really simple water test, and I did this just to see how even and flat the bottom of the pan is. So I added just a little bit of water into the pan to see where the water would settle. And as you can see in this clip, the water kind of pulled out towards the edge of the pan, which makes me feel like the middle of the pan is slightly higher than the edge. Now, I'm a little bit concerned of that. I'm not sure if it's intentional or not, but it seems like that just isn't flat enough, and that might cause food to cook unevenly if that's the case. Again, I don't know if that really is meant to be like that or if that's kind of a con or a flaw. To me, it's a little bit of a flaw because I would like an even surface to make sure that all of my food is cooked evenly. However, as you guys can see, this is very, very slight, and the water is moving like, it's like kind of trying to decide which way to move. And that makes me feel like it is just a very, very slight raise, or it's for the most part pretty even. And I haven't really noticed any unevenness when I was cooking. I just noticed it with the water test. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is the cost. Now, the nonstick pans come in an 8-inch, a 10-inch, and a 12-inch. The 8-inch is $45, the 10-inch is $55, and the 12-inch is $65. However, you can buy these in bundles and you're able to save a little bit of money. So for example, I bought the 10-inch and 12-inch bundle, and instead of $120, it was $105. So I think that's a saving of $15 just for the bundle. And if you added the 8-inch pan into it, which I wish I would have done, it would have been, I want to say it's like $145 versus $160. So again, it's a pretty good savings if you decided to buy all 3 pans or a bundle rather than just the pans individually. The 10 and 12-inch bundle I bought was $105, as I mentioned. I also added a pan protector, which is $7, and then I used a discount code which saved me $21, so my entire order came out to be $91 with free shipping. So I feel like that was a really good price for these pans. So I'm pretty happy with it. So to me, these are definitely not cheap pans, but they're also not expensive pans. So they're kind of right in the middle, but I would say on the more affordable side. So it's pretty nice. So overall, I'm actually really happy with this purchase. I really like these pans and I really enjoy cooking with these pans. For the most part, everything about them has been positive. I would say the only negative or the only con about these pans is the slightly uneven surface of the pan, which was shown through the water test. Now again, I don't know if that was meant to be like that or if there's a purpose for it to be like that. To me, that was the only negative I found with these pans after putting them through the test. So anyway guys, that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have Misen pans at home or Misen Nonstick Pans at home, I would love to know your experience and how you like your pans. Or is there another nonstick pan brand that you absolutely love? Because I am always looking for new products. Let me know all that in the comment section below. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to click on that subscribe button right there and hit that bell notification so you can see more videos like this. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!